For the 2 years prior to coming to Massey University, I lived with my Nani Rini. I remember going and asking her if I could come and stay with her, and she said, "Moko, you can come and stay with me on one condition, and that is you go back and finish your secondary schooling." Because you see, my Nani Rini had never had anyone finish secondary school. During these 2 years, she taught me many things, and I would like to share 3 of those things, those life lessons with you, the graduates, today. These lessons changed my life, and I know that if you take these lessons on board today, they can help you on your Māori life journey as well. So life lesson number 1, say your prayers. Maumahara tō taha wairua. My Nani Rini had karakia for everything. Karakia for when I woke up, karakia for when I went to sleep, karakia for every time we ate, and I mean like every time we ate. She had karakia for travelling because she believed that parts of Aotearoa should never have roads on them because they're built over wāhi tapu, and we needed karakia to go through those places safely. Every time we went to the sea for kai, which, by the way, was only ever the purpose for going to the sea. There was no swimming or playing or sunbathing for this Māori boy from Oahu. Every time we went to the bush for kai, karakia, karakia, karakia. I ngā wā katoa, i ngā wahi katoa, kia enoi mātou. One day, we were brushing our teeth, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I should ask my nanny if she's got a karakia for brushing teeth. But I knew that would just give me a clip across the ears, so I didn't. Through my nanny's karakia, I learnt the importance of humility, of trusting God and forces greater than myself. And I learned to acknowledge, as Professor Mason would put it, te taha wairua. I know that my being selected to come to Massey University in 1981 for what was to be the first year of a tūtangata Māori leadership and scholarship scheme, I knew that that was also a part of my Nani Rini's karakia. A partnership between Massey University and the then Māori Affairs led to 16 Māori from around New Zealand arriving here in Palmerston North to do business studies degrees at Massey. I am pleased to acknowledge another tūtangata graduate from that first intake who is here with us today, namely Blake Stevens, who is here for the graduation of his son. Marira, tēnā koutou te whānau Stevens. Even though I was immersed in karakia for the 2 years I was with my nanny, or perhaps because of it, it wasn't until my first year here at Palmy that I found faith, or should I say faith found me, and I learnt the true meaning of karakia in those beautiful words. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound. It saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. If I had more time, I could tell you about the many incredible miracles that have occurred in my life and how I have been protected, directed, guided and corrected by God and by our tūpuna Māori. In a world that seems to be saying we can do it all on our own, we don't need te taha wairua. I encourage you, the graduands, in your Māori world to maumahara tō karakia. Karakia tāwhito, karakia aha, mea inoi koe. He Māori koe. He kākono I ruia mai I rangi ātea. Ko tētahi taonga kua tuku iho nā te atua me a tātou tūpuna ko te karakia. So life lesson number 1, say your prayers. Maumahara tō taha wairua. Life lesson number 2, make your bed. Nowadays, when you make your bed, you just chuck a duvet over the top of the whole thing. But when I had to make my bed at my grandmother's place, she had these thick flannelette sheets and these even thicker woolen blankets. And over the top of all that, when a bedspread that I had to make sure was meticulous and very, very tidy. I had to do that every single morning. And it wasn't until years later that I realised what my Nani Rini was teaching me. Making my bed meant that I had achieved my first thing for that day. And doing that encouraged me to achieve other things that day. But if I did not achieve anything else, then at least I had a nicely made bed that I had made to get back into at the end of that day. There's a saying that goes, you made your bed, you sleep in it, which means you make a decision, now you have to live with it. I have found that a key part of making decisions in life is having good friends in life. Birds of a feather flock together, and we become like those who we associate with. Graduands, who you associate from today on will determine your purpose, your success, and the humility in your life. It will determine how well your bed is made. I congratulate you again. You have succeeded and are graduating today with those who have helped you along the way. They are your whānau and friends and kaitautoko, your birds of your feather. E hara toa toa i te toa takitahi. He toa taki mano, kia kaha, kia maia, kia manawa nui. Making my bed also taught me the importance of being a good steward of the stuff, the things, possessions, organisations and businesses entrusted to me. I found that if I looked after the smaller tasks, such as making my small single bed, then my Nani Rini would let me look after the bigger things, like their car. And the lawnmower. I got to mow a few lawns there as well. The Māori economy is worth more than $50 billion and projected to be worth more than $100 billion in 10 years. Māori own 50% of the fishing quota, 30% of all forests, 30% of all land production, and 30% of sheep and beef. Māori investments have traditionally been in fishing, farming, and forestry, the primary areas, but we are now in commercial property, infrastructure, tourism, geothermal, technology, and innovation. Coupled with this, though, we have poor statistics in health, poverty, prisons, and suicide. I know that you all want to contribute to the Māori success and make a difference, a positive difference for our people, and be a kaitiaki of our resources. Start by making your bed. I was talking with a young leader in Australia a couple of weeks about this, about making your bed. And my wife piped up and she goes, "Hey, but you don't make my side of the bed." And I said, well, I looked at the leader and I looked at my wife and I thought, yeah, why not? And I said, well, honey, you know, it's pretty hard to make your side of the bed if you're still lying in it. Luckily, after 35 years of marriage, she still got my sense of humour and laughed. Otherwise, I'd have been sleeping on the couch that night. So if your husband or wife are not still in it, feel free to make their side of the bed as well. Life lesson number 3. My nanny taught me many things, such as using my manners, treating people respectfully, no matter who they are, whether they are the cleaner or the Prime Minister. She taught me the importance of being punctual, working harder as well as smarter, and dressing for the job I wanted, not the job I had. But the third and final life lesson I would like to emphasise for you, the graduates today, is this. Life lesson number 3, keep on learning. Me ako tonu koe. If my Nani Rini was here today, she would say the same thing she said to me often, which was, Moko, learn as much as you can, as often as you can. Keep learning and learn everything there is to learn. Learn it all. But never be a know-it-all, because no one likes a show-off. So graduands, please don't see your graduation today as the end of your learning, but as the start. You are opening a door of mātauranga for yourself and those around you, as well as the next generations. Maihana Jury is here today because his parents kept on learning and encouraged him to do the same. When our children were born, my wife and I did 2 things. After a 5-minute conversation my Pākehā wife had with Professor Tai Arihia Black, we decided to only speak Māori to them. And we also started a scholarship for them so that they could attend a university. All their lives we told them, you will get a degree. They were both kura kids, and our son Irewera is now in his final year of med school, and his sister is completing a nursing degree. At the end of this year, she is reapplying to med school as well. Along the way, my wife became the first person in her whānau to get a degree, a BA from Massey University. Our whānau academic achievements all whakapapa back to a beautiful Māori kuia. My Nani Rini, who asked one of her moko to complete secondary school all those years ago. Graduands, be that Nani Rini, be that koro to your whānau and your mokopona. Ko te manu e kai te miro no nā te ngahere, ko te manu e kai te mātauranga pēnei no nā te ao katoa.